Hey guys, this is Kenny. I've got a 2000 Suburban. It's my own, and there's only one dent in the whole thing, and it's where one of my tires blew out, and it slapped up there and dented this bit right behind here on the back quarter. And so I thought I'll just get underneath of it and bang it out and tap down the high spots and put some filler in there. But the problem is there's an inner panel in here, and I can't get in here and knock that out, and I don't want to come in here and cut this out just to do that, at least not yet. So what I'm attempting is a giant glue pull, because that's way too big for a little plastic glue tab, but this might work. What I did was I built this out of some poplar. I pre-drilled, countersunk 3 heavy deck screws in there, glued it all together, and then I used my belt sander and I marked out a spot where I thought the best pull would be, and I sat here for about, I don't know, 15 minutes and fit that right in there where it needs to go. Now the problem is how to get enough glue on here to before it dries to stick on here so it'd have a good adhesion. So my plan is I'm going to take my commercial heat gun and I'm going to heat this metal up hot enough to melt this stick, and I'm going to push this stick. Well, first I'm going to rough this up with some 36 or 40, and then I'm going to melt this stick in here, make sure the metal has accepted it, and get it nice and thick. And then I'm going to do the same to my block here. I'm just going to use the heat gun and put a ton of glue on there, probably a 12-inch stick on both sides, I'm guessing. I don't know, that's a guess. Then I'll probably hold this right here and heat the top and heat this at the same time till they're both running, and then I'm going to stick it on here. Now, how am I going to pull that? Well, I'm not really sure, but I'm figuring if this sticks good, I'm going to drill a hole right here where my thumb is, and then I'm going to put a bar, brace it on my back bumper, and bring a bar way over here, a metal bar, and then either chain it to this block or make a S-hook out of some rebar or something and start pulling. And I'm not looking to pull it all out, but I don't want to put a pound of filler in here either. So if I can get this thing pulled out where I don't have that much filler, I'm going to be happy. I'm not trying to do a paintless dent repair here, but I don't want to put, gosh, it's, probably at least 2 inches of filler in the deepest area. I mean, years ago I'd do that, and of course if you have ever done that, it don't last very long, and it just pops out. See, I don't know if it's because it shrinks or what, but what you want to do is eliminate as much filler as you can. So I'm going to pull this out. If I can't pull it out, then I'm going to have to go on the other side. I'm going to drill some holes and start driving this out. But I just thought it would be, that's probably the smartest thing to do, but I just thought it'd be fun to make this giant glue pull just to see if it works. So I'm probably gonna have an hour and a half time in it though. That's the only issue. I could have probably already had the holes drilled in there and that beat out, but this seems like the way to go. If this works, then you guys can pick up you know, some wood. You wouldn't want to use pine. This is poplar. It's real strong and it's reasonably priced. Or you can do some oak. Make sure you pre-drill all your holes so you don't split it out and glue it. But I mean, like if this thing was hugely dented in, I mean, you could make one big one and put in there, cut your block however you want and fit it, glue that sucker on there and pull most of it out. But I don't even know if it's going to do this. So anyway, I'll get back with you. I'm going to rough this up with some, I think I got some 40, so I'm going to rough that up with some 40 and then set the camera up and we're going to start forcing some glue in there. Okay, I've roughed it up and I'm going to put some grease and wax remover on it just to make sure there's no residue. I don't want it to pop. I want it to stick really good. Then what I want to do is remark. I can kind of see where a couple of my original marks were where I fit this on the first time. I want to put the marks back on because I want to get it in the same spot again. What you don't want to do is get glue all over here and then try to find your spot real quick. This way I get to see my spot and get it right in place the first time. Okay, I got my commercial heat gun here and I don't really know what temperature this glue melts at, but I'm gonna put it in the center here. That's 560 degrees and I'm gonna see how long it takes this to melt. I don't want it so hot that once I heat up the metal it starts bubbling the paint and then the glue won't stick. But I don't want it too cold where it won't heat up the metal where it'll adhere. So that's melting, so I'm going to turn it down a bit so we're at 270 degrees. Now I'm going to see if it melts it. $270 just wants to melt it. So I'm going to go up to about 325 degrees and we're going to see if we can't push some glue on here. You see how I'm heating the metal up and I'm pushing the glue in it. The glue looks like it's sticking pretty good. If I would have just used this and glued it and used that, it would have just probably got hard in about 5 seconds. Wouldn't have been able to do it. Okay, I've got it built up pretty thick. Of course, you know, it wants to run, fighting gravity here. So just keep raising it up if it drops down. I would say I've got anywhere from about a 1/16 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch built up. So if I take my block and I put at least that much or more on, I should have a good, you know, enough glue on there to take care of any voids. So let's get some glue on the stick here. I'm just guessing this is going to work. I don't know. One way of testing it is heat your surface up, and you'll know about how hot it needs to be. I mean, you don't want to get it so hot that this is going to burn, and then push your stick on it. See, that's sticking right there. So I'm pretty close. So when I get back, I'll cut away, and when I come back, I will have built this up all over this piece of wood. Okay, it's taken me a while, but I put a thick old coating of hot glue on here. It's still semi melted. This up here is already hardened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this here, and I'm going to heat, well, I'll heat this up a little bit till it starts to glisten like this, and then I'll heat them both up, and then I'm going to tilt it up and stick it. So I don't know. Just trying to keep everything warm. When this hot glue turns clear, then it's about there. When it turns opaque, anybody's used hot glue, when it starts turning opaque, that's when it starts hardening up. So now I'm going to hold them both up and heat them both at the same time. Get them both to where they look like they're ready to run together. I see the one on the block trying to flow. The glue on the vehicle starting to flow. Heating it this way should heat both surfaces at the same time. You know, should. I think I'm getting pretty close. We're starting to get some good runs off the vehicle. I can see this glue on the wood block moving around. So I think we're almost there. Alright, we're going to try it. Oh man, that looks good. I know that's filled up all the spots. If that don't pull it out, I don't know what will. As long as you're pulling. So I'm going to wait here till it sets, and so you don't need to be watching that. That'd be pretty boring. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, and you can see that I mean, it's solid. So as hot as I had to get everything, I think I'm just going to go drink a cup of coffee or two and make sure that's really hard. Well guys, I'm just getting ready for the pull. I originally thought putting the bar back here and pulling would be better, but the angle's not good. It's way back there. And so the tire and the wheel is a much better angle, and I have more leverage, so I can pull it like this. And what I'm going to do is I took a piece of 3/8 rebar and I made a hook. Oh, I can see I got to twist that hook now. See, I got to go back in the shop and twist this hook 90 degrees, and then I'll put a hole in here, and then I'll pull. So anyway, we all make mistakes. I make them all the time. So I'm gonna go twist this 90 degrees, and then we're still gonna let this set up. It's only been just a few minutes. All right, I'm back. Now we've got it. I just bent that around 90 degrees, so I'll put a hole in here, probably about right there. Well, let's see. I want a pretty straight pull. Man, this bar is heavy. So I don't want it out here. I don't want it really far in. I want it where it's about straight and in. So once I pull that out, we'll be about straight. I want to be able to pull on this straight out, not an angle, not down, not over, because I don't want it to lose its grip here or break. If I pull it at an angle, I know it's all going to break. So I got to make sure this is pulling straight, which is about right there. Right there. So it'll be about right here. So right about there. All right, it's only been about 15 minutes since we've glued it on there, and so I'm going to give it, let me see, yeah, that's still warm. I'm going to give it at least 30-40 more minutes before I attempt it, and if it don't work the first time, I'm not trying it again. Okay guys, here's what I did. I don't want to put the metal bar against the rubber or the wheel. Not that they're in perfect shape, but this gives me a lot better surface to pry against. And then I'm just test fit this bar up here where I wanted it. Put a couple marks and some screws here, so I'm not sitting here. This bar weighs a ton, and so now it's not so bad. It'll stay in position. So now we're gonna, it's hard to see in the sun, but I'm gonna start pulling on it. It's been about an hour, and the metal's cool. Everything is looks like it's still stuck good. It feels rock solid. So I'm going to start pulling. I'll try to get the camera a little closer. One of my main issues is when I grab the bar and start pulling, is it's going to let loose and I'm going to fly backwards. And it's probably too bad there's not a camera behind me, but anyway, this is a business at hand right here. So this bar is about 4 foot long. And so I've got this where I'm pulling straight down, and I'm going to get at the end of the bar, put my feet up against the trailer hitch here, and pull a little bit, see what happens, just a tiny bit. I can hear the glue starting to release, so I don't think this is going to work. I'm pulling just steady. It's just a steady pull. Just put a little bit more pull on it. I got a feeling it's going to pull off. I don't know if it's doing anything. I can tell this has gotten a little bigger right here, so I'm not so sure. I think some's came out. Not sure if I'm pulling straight. I can feel this whole vehicle move when I pull that. I mean, this whole side moving. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue until it pops off, I guess. My gosh, it's sticking. She's about pulled out. I can't believe it. Well, I kind of believe it a little bit, but I can't believe it too. I want to make sure I pull it out. Well, I might have that far enough. It's starting to pull loose a little bit here, but actually that's pretty straight. If you can see it in the camera, but this is pretty straight. It's took this buckle out, pulled that out. I have an issue right here. I can't, the glare is so high, so bad. Right here, what I'm going to do now is take a hammer and bend this all closer into place and see if that doesn't help right here, and then I'll do a final pull on it. So I'm going to go get my hammer. I'll be back. Okay guys, I don't have a good angle of getting in there, so what I'm going to do is take this big punch and hold right in here, and then hit it down there with my 3-pound hammer. Hit it downward. That's what it needs. Get that in shape. Okay. I need to hit it right back here. I power washed all this out, but there's some dirt falling out of there. What I'm going to do right now is go to the other side and see what that looks like, and then I'll come back. Okay, the other side, the curve comes right down here, nice curve, and of course it doesn't have this bend in it, but this is nice and flat coming down. So I need to knock this down, and then that'll bring that metal in, and I need to tap it at the same time, so hitting here and here, back and forth, try to bring this back in place. You see how I'm tapping down here, and then this is coming in? So now I'm gonna tap in here a little bit. I should have took that tire off, but I didn't think it was going to be this involved here. Okay, I'm in right here. I don't know if I can get that out. No. Okay, I got most of that out. I don't know if you can see it now. Crap and sun's in the way. But this dent here is almost all the way out. Gosh, I think if I had a glue kit and had some experience, I probably could have taken this dent out. I mean, and made it look, you know, at least 80% good. I wouldn't have had to do anything, but now that I've scuffed that up with 40 underneath here, I gotta paint it. I mean, I already bought the paint. I had to buy a pint of paint anyway, so so I can't take it back. But yeah, I guess I should have tried this first. I might have been able to live with that. So I'm going to pull on it just a little bit more. It's releasing back here, and it's only stuck right up here now, and that's actually where the last dent is. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull on this, and maybe it'll pop off. I don't want to over pull it too much, although I can tap it down. So it'd be better to over pull it than under pull it, I believe. I'm not a body man by trade, but I like to do all my own work. And so anyway, I'll get back with you when I set up to pull again. Okay, I'm getting ready to do my last pull. Try to get this done before my battery goes dead. All right. Man, that looks good. Looks a lot better than it was. I've got a lot less work ahead of me now. I'll just put some denatured alcohol on here, which I have plenty of it. I buy it by the gallon. Not for this though, but for other things. And then see where my high spots are. I'll just quickly take a block over it. See where my high spots are. I can pretty much feel them, and then I'll tap all those in, and then I'll go under here and fill. Looks like I can fill actually to about right in here. So it's possible, it's real possible that I can just paint to here and go ahead and blend up to here. So I mean, that would probably be the right way of doing it. But anyway, I do have a good line here to stop, and it is my own car, so it's not going to really matter. But anyway, there's plenty of videos showing you how to do everything I'm going to do next. And I'm going to put a link and a little bubble at the bottom to a guy I've been watching, Pete, down in Texas. You know, just showing us regular guys how to do it the right way. I'm not saying this is the right way. I'm not saying this is what Pete told me to do. I did this on my own, but I'm actually working on my son's car, and I had some questions about applying the primer over some rust, and I emailed him, and he emailed me back with my answers, and I very much appreciated that. So anyway, I just want to make a shout out to Pete and Minnie down there in Texas. Okay guys, like I suspected, right in here is where the pull was, and I did over pull it, so I had to I went around and tapped the high spots down best I could without it trying to buckle in, and then I went to the other side and put a straight edge up and got a feel for what I needed to do over here. And actually those high spots are pretty darn close. There's just a little bend in it like this on the other side. That's what I have here. So I'm going to leave that. And so I hit this with some 40 on my orbital. It's not a DA, it's just an orbital. And then I've got low spots and stuff, and I'm going to take this paint grinder and clean up the rest of it. And then there's just a little bit of rust right in here, and I'm going to put some vinegar water on that. And that was a tip from Pete and Minnie down there in Texas. So I'll put some vinegar water in there. I used to use navel jelly, and you know, no need of buying anything like Pete says if you got vinegar. So we'll give this a shot. All I'm trying to do is get into the low spots where this rode over the top, so I can rough it up so the filler will stick. And so I'll just continue to do this on the low spots. No need you watching that. That's going to be boring. And I'll get back with you if anything exciting happens. Hey guys, I want to show you something I bought online. You know, the big auction place. This is a speed controller. It will not work if your motor is brushless or your tool is brushless. It's under the heading of router speed control. But if your tool, a lot of the tools I have, like this one here, it's either on or off. I've got a 7-inch grinder that's on or off. And I've got a bench grinder that's either on or off. So if you buy one of these and you have a motor that has brushes in it, you can change the speed on it. And like if you need to carry it on you, like I'm going to use it when I buff out some, when I'm going to do some color sanding, and I'm going to buff it out, but my 7-inch grinder spins too fast because, you know, I'm not a professional at it. So this will hang on my belt. I can turn whatever speed I want that I'm comfortable with and go for it. So I'll show you how it works. We'll put it all the way down, and then let's see. Then we'll turn it up. That, and these are about $15 online shipped. I'm I'm sure they're made out of the country for that price, but it does work. And so if you need to change the speed of your router, if it's got brushes or a drill, or like me, one of these $30 4.5 inch grinders, because I'm going to slow it down when I get down in here, then it's going to make it a little more safer for me. So anyway, just a little tip for you. Hey guys, I'm getting ready to treat some rust right in here. That's the only rust I see. Just maybe one little spot right there. I'm going to treat that. And you know how you guys, me included, like you go to start a project and then you kind of search around YouTube and stuff. I mean, in the old days we'd have to just ask people or order books or go to the library, and now everything's someone's made a video of it. So the only thing I ever knew to put on rust was navel jelly, and so I've started watching this one channel on YouTube where the guy Pete and his wife Minnie, they explain things in terms that the regular person can understand. People like me doing stuff out in their driveway on the gravel, trying to save a buck or two, but more than that, actually trying to get some experience here, because one day I may want to do something a little nicer. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to just type it in. It's DIY Auto School, all one word. That's all you have to do. In your search bar, DIY Auto School, and you will find him. You've got a ton of videos on there. You can find any operation that you want, and he's got so many videos. I've been trying to watch 2 or 3 a night, and I can't get through them all, but on each video I learned something. So check this guy out. He's for real. He don't blow any smoke, and that's what I like about him. So anyway, that's my shout out. So I'm gonna put some scrub this down with some vinegar water and a red Scotch Brite. And all I did was just mix up enough that I needed. Actually, this is about a third vinegar, white vinegar, and 2/3 water. And just like you'll see on Pete's video, just get in there and scrub the crap out of it. You know, be careful you don't cut yourself on the metal. My gloves aren't waterproof, so I don't want to get them wet. But you see there's no rust through here, none. So I'm just going to go where the rust is. I mean, there's no need to do extra work if you don't have to. So once I get that in there real good, we'll let that dry. Oh, and it changes the color of the metal, kind of yellow orange. It's kind of cool. I never knew this would neutralize rust. But first, get all the loose rust out, wire brush it, or however you can get the loose rust out, and then just scrub it hard with this red Scotch Brite. Now it's coffee time again till this dries. Then I'll come out and I'll rinse it. Okay guys, it's been about an hour and it's all dry. And there was only just a few little rust pits in here. I mean, like maybe 15, about the size of pepper, right in here, just right down there. That's all it was. And so I'm going to neutralize that with some clean water. Now I'll just take a shop towel, kind of speed up the drying. And from here on out, I'm on my third battery charge making this silly video. I mean, if you haven't made a video, you don't realize just how long it takes. I mean, you could do like so much work, so much more work if you weren't videotaping and explaining. And so that's where I'm at now. I just want to get to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this little rust area. I'm going to fill it with filler. And since I got a large area here, I'm going to fill it a couple of times. Then since I'm a remodeling contractor, I'm real good at drywall. And this is a perfect place to have a wide area to spread my Bondo on, or I guess Bondo is a brand name, spread my filler on. So the first coat, I'm going to shove it in real tight with a filler spreader, just real tight, get it worked all in. And then what I have left I'll fill, and then I'll come back and I'll fill again. And then to keep it a little bit more square, I'll come through here like this. And that should get me a lot closer than using a little spreader all over. And that's about it. So from here on out, check out this channel, and Pete will explain everything on his videos. So I'm gonna quit videotaping right now. It's getting late, and I need to treat that rust, and I want to at least get a fill coat of filler on there, and I can't do that if I'm videotaping. But anyway, right here, DIY Auto School. Check Pete and Minnie out. He'll steer you in the right direction, the right products, the right way to do it. Just an all-around good guy.